Oh, the Brahman, oh, the limitless, oh, the boundless, oh, the sense of self-awareness. Oh, the Brahman, oh, the limitless, oh, the boundless, oh, the sense of self-awareness. Lead us from darkness to light. Oh, the Brahman, oh, the limitless, oh, the boundless, oh, the sense of self-awareness, or pure consciousness. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from untrue to true. Give us the strength to shed our karma. Lead us in your path. Let this Atman speak the words of truth and wisdom. Blessings to be on my listener, whether it's a herself or himself. Oh, the Brahman, whatever the energy we produce in this meditation. O Brahman, whatever the energy we produce in this communion with you, with the sacred, without having to involve our mind. Send this energy to the one who needs it most. Send this energy to the one who are tired with the similarity of life. Send this energy to the one who are tired of being sick, the one unfortunately who have physical disorders, and to the one who have behavioral issues. Send this energy to those who need it most. Send this energy to those who need it most. O Brahman, O the limitless, we realize when we come in your presence, it's not that we come in your presence. Your presence is always around. That's why you are omnipresent. Your presence, the sense of self-awareness and pure consciousness, the sense of self-awareness and pure consciousness is always around. There is no distance here. We are not traveling from point A to point B. We know in this point in time, we know in this second in time, when we become more aware of your presence, oh, the almighty and ultimate sense of self-awareness, which has no bands attached, which has no barriers or boundaries to it. You see, which has no bands attached, which has no barriers or boundaries to it, which always has, always is, and always will be. So when we commune with you, O divinity, and the energy we produce, send this energy to those who need it most. We realize when we come in the communion with you, O sacred, O divinity, the mind rages out of control. It's the mind who creates birth to abstract reality, the reality which does not exist anywhere but in the mind. Mind wants to create an abstract reality. Mind wants to create illusions. Mind wants to create delusions. Mind wants to create fear. Mind wants to create paranoia. But we are so self-alert through this meditation, through this very meditation, through this very practice. When we come in your presence, we are so self-alert, we are so self-aware that we tell the mind, shh. We are so self-aware and we are so self-alert that we tell the mind, shh. We realize during the day, for the most part of our day, unfortunately, we give so much time, attention, focus, and significance to the mind. But this time is only for us solely, us or I am. The sense of self awareness, the pure consciousness. This time is for me, this time is for us solely, not the mind. Because the moment we give any significance or bring our focus or bring our attention voluntarily to the mind wants to create paranoia. The mind wants to make sense out of everything. The mind never gets tired. It needs no food. It needs no air to breathe. But we realize that it is very much there. Nor it has no tangible form to it. It cannot be touched through the senses, but it can be felt. And we know it's very real because, for the most part, and sadly and unfortunately, is the mind which control people. In the third world countries, more than one third of this world, unfortunately, still believes that mind is the king and is the in charge of everything. Well, if you believe something like that, then you would need good luck, because mind is very powerful in a sense that it can create imaginations, and mind can create delusions. It can give birth. I'm sure you are familiar with the term birth. It gives birth to the fear and paranoia and make it stronger and stronger. But the life is coming from us. If we do not pay attention to the content of the thought that it creates, it is useless. It has no power over you. It is difficult to do because since the day of our birthday, while we are growing up, we have been conditioned. We have been unfortunately domesticated to do just the opposite, to prescribe significance to the mind, unfortunately. And then it becomes so powerful because of our focus and awareness is going into it, that it goes on a power trip. It has no mercy. It is merciless. It has no mercy. It has no compassion. It is merciless. It has no mercy, unfortunately, and it has no compassion towards the being. It executes the being if you prescribe so much significance and so much importance to the mind. It persecutes, it uses everything it has against the being. So when we sit in this powerful meditative state, when we sit in this powerful and mighty powerful communion with the divinity or the sacred, there is no room here for the thought. There is no room here for the mind. Because we realize there is no thought, there is no mind. Thought is not what mind does, thought is what mind is. We realize that profoundly. We have learned it from our experience. And thought is always limited. So is the mind. There are so many things mind cannot answer. There it tries, it is always in action, tries to make the sense out of everything. It tries to make the sense out of objects. It tries to make the sense out of beings. It tries to make the sense out of our own thoughts. It tries to make sense. It looks for the reason. It looks for the logic. It looks for what is and what is not. It is tireless. It never gets tired. But when we sit in an attentive, meditative position and we commune with the sacred, we realize this limited mind has no significance. It's always limited. This thinking mind cannot I repeat, this thinking mind cannot answer everything. It is limited, and it is only necessary for us to function. So having keeping that all in mind, please remember, having in this practice, in this meditation, having keeping that all in mind, or in our awareness, or in our pure consciousness, we let our focus spread anywhere. We do not get exclusive by focusing on one object or one thought or one being. We let our focus wander around everywhere. This is what meditation is. Real meditation is, as Krishnamurti, the beautiful, brilliant mystic and a philosopher who never thought, basically, that a real meditation is when, please follow my words, you see, follow my words. A real meditation is real meditation is when you forget everything and anything and everything which has been handed over to you, which has been given to you. A real meditation, follow my words, a real meditation is when you forget everything and anything and everything which has been given to you, handed to you, when you forget all the memory for some time, when you forget all the knowledge that you have acquired, when you forget that you are a gender, when you forget you are a body, when you forget you are mind, when you forget you have a color, a skin color, when you forget you belong to a tribe, when you forget that you belong to a culture, when you forget that you are subscribed, unfortunately, to the gender, when you become live and purely live, if you understand, when you become live and pure life with no sense of any attributes attached to it, then you are in communion with the Brahman, with the limitless, with the eternity, with the universe, which you are in communion. When you leave all these concepts, when you leave all these ideas around for some time, and you have no thought in your mind, or even if you do, you do not go with the thought. You do not get interested in the content of the thought. You don't do that. You say to mind, you do what you are going to do. You are going to do it anyway because you don't stop. But I'm not going to volunteer myself, which is pure awareness or consciousness, to something so petty such as yourself. You tell that to mind. You tell that to mind, this time is for me and for me only. Here I am not a daughter. Here I am not a father. I'm not a mother. I'm not a lover. I'm not a spouse. I'm not a girlfriend. I'm not a long or short term relationship. I am not a gender. I am not any of these things which attach attributes to the being. I am, and that's all it matters. It's not important for me to figure out through mind that what I am. Because through mind, if you figure out things, then you are not getting anywhere. But if you put the mind aside, you would figure out what you are, but not through the thinking mind. Thinking mind is all that which I told you. So sit in this meditation. Keep all this awareness with yourself when you sit silent in the presence of sacred. Silence not only outside, but silence also within. When you sit silence, not only around you, but silence within, basically, then you realize you are with the communion with sacred. You see what I'm saying? Om Shiva